just a heck of a beautiful place. Just a timeshare, I'd love to get in on it. Good morning.
He tried to escape by jump-starting an ambulance.
With a defibrillator.
Clear. My kind of guy. I told you the mission wasn't over.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. Welcome to another of my misunderstood movie reviews. Today, I take a look at the 2010 action film, The A-Team, a film that is co-written and directed by Joe Carnahan, and it stars Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, Sharlto Copley, Quentin Rampage Jackson, Jessica Biel, and Patrick Wilson. And is, of course, the reboot, remake, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, of the classic 1980s TV show of the same name. Now, the film focuses on four soldiers of fortune, Hannibal, Face, Murdoch, and B.A. Baracus, who are framed for a crime they don't commit, and rather than being in the Vietnam War, which is where the TV show, which is where they were based, before they become soldiers of fortune. This is in Iraq, I believe it is. So they do like 80 successful missions in Iraq, and they do this one fateful mission that basically ends up with them being set up and betrayed and imprisoned. Hannibal breaks his team out of prison, and they go about clearing their names, all in the while being pursued by Jessica Biel and the government. Right. What are my thoughts on The A-Team? Well, as you know, fairly recently I put up on the channel my top 10 favourite TV shows, top 20 favourite TV shows of my childhood. And it's no surprise, really, someone of my generation, The A-Team was high up on my list. This is a TV show that I used to almost obsess over. Every Saturday tea time it was on in the UK, and I was just glued to the set every single week, lapping it up, this show, The A-Team. It was fabulous. Really, really good. So when I found out that they were bringing it back as a movie, I got stupidly excited. I was so looking forward to this film, and I think I went to the cinema to see this 2 or 3 times when it came out. I really enjoyed this film when it came out. So imagine my disappointment when it didn't do that well. Critically, it got decent reviews. I think audience members who saw it quite enjoyed it. People that look back on it now look at it quite fondly. But it didn't pull in the coin at the box office, so therefore we never got a sequel and we never got a continuation, which was, for me, an absolute crying shame for this film, because it is superbly made. Now, the first thing they get right about this film, I think, is the director. Joe Carnahan, I think, is one of the most underrated, certainly action directors out there. He's made some great stuff in the if you look at his filmography. Fairly recently, Cop Shop, Boss Level. He made The Grey, Narc, I think he's done. And obviously this is a very, very good director with an eye for action. Really, really good. And the other thing I think they absolutely nailed, hands down, in this film is the casting. It's absolutely perfect. Who'd have thought Liam Neeson would have worked as Hannibal Smith? But he absolutely does. He pulls off the role with absolute ease, and he just is wonderful as Hannibal in this film. And then you've got Bradley Cooper as Face. You name me another actor that could have pulled that role off as good as Bradley Cooper did. Completely becomes the character of Face. Absolutely wonderful. Then you've got Sharlto Copley playing Murdoch. Arguably most people's favourite character in the TV show. I kind of like them all equally, but I really did like Murdoch as well. Sharlto Copley absolutely nails the essence of Murdoch. Howling Mad Murdoch is what his nickname is. And my God, Sharlto Copley absolutely is howling mad in this film. Brilliant performance by him. And then they took a bit of a risk. They cast a UFC fighter as B.A. Baracus, Quentin Rampage Jackson. Now, it shouldn't have worked on paper, casting him. And to be fair, out of all the performances, acting-wise, his is probably the weakest. But physically, He nails BA. He's absolutely convincing. Of course he's convincing as B.A. Baracus. It's Quentin Rampage Jackson. At the time, really hot property, really good UFC fighter. Great casting, and they all absolutely complement each other. Fantastic stuff. I think the only casting they got wrong here in this film, and this has got nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman, is the Jessica Biel character as Sosa, who is chasing down the A-Team. They do quite a lazy plot device where she's got like a romantic history with Face, and for me she just doesn't nail that authoritarian figure who is chasing them down. I think it either needed to be a more seasoned actress or just somebody who was better for the role. And this isn't a pop at Jessica Biel. I don't have a problem with Jessica Biel at all. I just think that was the weakest casted role. You could argue as well for Patrick Wilson, who plays the greasy CIA agent. He actually does quite a good job. He's quite... well, he plays that role of exactly that, the greasy CIA agent. He does it exactly as you would expect, but I guess you could say it's quite an expected performance. As Brian Bloom as well, who also co-wrote the film, plays Pike, like this military figure that portrays the A-Team. In regards to the story, it's pretty standard stuff, I think it's fair to say as well. You know, they get betrayed, they want to clear the names, so on and so forth, and then they've got to go after these plates to stop this counterfeit operation. So that again, not a brilliant plot line, not a brilliant story, but the idea of this film is to establish these characters, establish the situation that they're in, and then develop it from there, which I think they do marvellously. So, interestingly as well, John Singleton was attached to this before Joe Carnahan took on the job of directing and writing. And attached to this film early on was Mel Gibson as Hannibal, Christian Bale as Face, Jim Carrey as Murdoch, and The Rock as B.A. Baracus. Imagine that if we ever got to see it. I like the version that we got, and it is a crying shame that we never got a sequel of any sort. So I'm going to give this one... do you know what? Because I really like this film. I can understand its criticisms and its weaknesses, but it's a really highly entertaining action film, and I think they do a really, really good job with it, which is why I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I just wish we got a sequel. Unfortunately, that never happened. So let me know, guys, if you've seen this film, what you thought of it, and I'll be back with loads more content very soon.